everybody. We get asked numerous times every year what kind of mower we would buy if we were going to buy a mower ourselves. Well, I'll go over that with you, touch on that briefly, but today I want to talk about mower decks that I would not buy. Now, there's no shortage of bad mower decks out there. Take a pick, right? Well, there's one design I wouldn't buy, and there's a very specific reason for that, and I'll show you on some of these we have. First off, please like and subscribe if you enjoy our content. To clean a deck on most of these tractors, a nice air nozzle will work. You can just blow it all off. Otherwise, you can use a vacuum and kind of remove all of the grass before you really start with the vacuum and blow it off from there and the tight crevices. On this, with this deck, it usually gets so packed up and around that you can't blow anything out. Even if you try, it's not going to all get out from under this cover without removing it. To clean this deck, you can't do it quick and easy, therefore most homeowners don't do it at all. With the electrostatic powder coating that they use for this deck, as soon as any moisture gets up underneath, the paint starts to remove. I'll get a little closer up of all of the issues on that side as soon as we remove this and get the deck all cleaned up. There's 10mm bolts that hold it on. There's 3 on this side and then 2 on the others. And we're gonna take both of these plastic covers out so we can reveal all the grass and we can clean that up and make sure that this thing doesn't sit all year with moisture on it. If it does, you're gonna run into more issues. It's a lot of grass. That probably would have blown out eventually if I kept working at it with the air nozzle. Most of the time it's packed up in. Let's see how the other side is. All right, cover off. Most of the time it's actually a lot worse than that much grass up underneath. And usually, of course, it's all wet and everything else. We see that a very, very large percentage of the time. Now that we have the guards off and most of the grass out of the way, I haven't blown everything off extremely well yet to finish up, but we can see the greaser, and that there is hard to access with this panel still on. So you've got to have a pretty nice grease gun with a long extension in order for that to get through from way out here into there. That's a pretty big jump as far as a gap goes. I don't like that for serviceability wise on these decks. Again, that goes for all of them. And then this, again, that plating they use, as soon as you get a crack in it or anything, the whole thing starts to peel up. I mean, all this is loose. If we took a scraper, we could probably take almost all of this paint off of the deck down to bare metal. That'll cause problems, especially in this crack right here. A lot of times it'll rust and the whole mounting bracket will break off or bend as soon as you hit something because it's been weakened. Same thing goes for the brakes. There's brakes on both sides, and those need to spin freely when you engage and disengage, so they come back. If that gets a bunch of debris and water down in it, first thing that's going to happen is it's going to rust and your brake's going to stop working properly. Goes the same for the idler arm. The idler arm, it's got to swing back and forth. If it gets a bunch of stuff and a bunch of rust up in here, same issue. You can see the tops of the idler pulleys. They've got grass all piled up in them, both of them. It just does not give you a real good way to service it. It doesn't give you a real good way to keep it clean. And that's gonna lead to way more problems. And with the quality of the deck, that just exacerbates everything. It makes it so much worse because of this here. Now, if it was a good quality deck and that paint didn't come up like that, it'd be a little bit better. I don't like some of John Deere's things with their private labeling and some of the other things that they do. I'm not a huge fan of that. There are many of those design flaws, but John Deere overall normally makes a good product. They're lower end tractors, and this edge deck is not a good product whatsoever. John Deere 125 automatic on this side. It has regular open keeper on it instead of that plastic guard, but the other side's exactly the same as the one we were just looking at, and that's an edge 42. Got an Excel deep 42 on this one, on the 0 turn. That flap just lifts up. It's spring loaded, so you don't have to mess with it. You can lift it up and clean it out if you like. Get all that out and grease it at the same time. Much better design, but again, that's the Excel. X540. This thing has an edge deck on it. A little bit different design, but it's still got that plastic cover, which hinders the same thing as the others. The painting on it is much better on this X540 than it is on the others. It doesn't seem to, they must use a different process in order to do that. I think that's an E120 back there. Also has an edge 42 on it. S140 right here has an edge 48. Again, same design. This one was completely packed before I cleaned it out to do an estimate on it. Belt was completely shot because of it. And there's a lot of spots that are rusted out on that one also. E110, another edge 42. Let's see, this is an edge 38 on an X300. Now it's got the metal covers to it, but again, same thing. Same design, same hindrance of being able to clean out your deck in an easy manner. Got an Excel 48 deep. It's got the same spring-loaded one that the other 0 turn did. Much better design on that Excel deck. If you're buying something that's going to be a John Deere, I would go with the upgrade to the Excel without a question. Got most of this cleaned up this morning, but still kind of a mess. D130, same thing. Edge 42-inch deck. Got an X384 over here. It's got the Excel deep again. So that's got the better upgraded flap on it. Let's see what he's got out here. I think there are a couple more John Deeres outside. Well, it's still not quite light out. We've got an LA100. It's got the same design on the left side. It's got the plastic, but on the right side here, it's just got the keepers. Which it still accumulates if it just has the keepers, but it's much easier to get off of there. Again, that's an edge 42 on that one. And then what do we have? He's getting ready to bring back this S100. Got out here on the trailer. It's also got the same deck on it. So you say, yeah, you get it. John Deere decks suck, according to me, right? What should you buy? What I own is a Simplicity, not dissimilar from this. This is a Broadmoor. It's got the 22 horse Briggs Professional in it. Some of you don't like the Briggs or the Vanguard series. Mine has the Vanguard in it. But this mower is one of the easiest to repair. It's one of the most availability as far as parts go. And they make a good quality machine. It's practical. That's what I like about it. Now, if you don't like stripes in your yard, get a different mower because it's got rollers in the back that's going to give you that striped look to your lawn, and there's really no way to get around that. This is my pick overall for a mower, is the Simplicity riding mowers. From the bottom of the line to the top of the line, I think for the price, they're the best mower out there. Best deck. They've got a great design there. It is kind of a pain that it is, you know, only a stripe mower for some of you that don't like that. That's just the design though, unfortunately. Hopefully I've given you a little bit of insight on some designs not to buy and what I would buy if I went to buy one. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content.